In the headlines, unsettling weather as tropical storm Jerry passes to the north. The local media is mourning the passing of legendary broadcaster Doug Hoyte. Barbados plots a new course for its maritime industry. And in sports, the Windies skipper says his players are confident ahead of tonight's second test against India.
The headline news is brought to you by National Transformation Initiative, shaping the Starbajan.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tisha Hines with the details to the news. Well, the skies over Barbados turned dark this afternoon as tropical storm Jerry brought unsettling weather into the area as it journeys to the north of Barbados. Our Deanza Roberts has more.
Jerry is currently centered just north of Barbados, east of the northern Leeward Islands near Antigua. Senior meteorologist Similka Jackson says the system is moving quickly.
A lot of the convection associated with the system is to the south, and that's what we are getting. We're on the southern skirts of that. So today we got, especially this afternoon, we would have gotten some heavy showers, and with those showers had some significant gusts, some gusting up to storm force. The activity is expected to maintain into tonight. So we continue to get those in and out pockets of heavy showers, and with the showers, you can expect the gusty wind conditions as well.
She says conditions are expected to improve tomorrow.
But similar to what you would have experienced this afternoon, in the latter part of the afternoon, that kind of activity is expected to persist, especially during the beginning part of the night. But by tomorrow, however, we are expecting an improvement as Jerry moves further away from the region.
So a wet and windy night ahead, but some clearer skies on the horizon tomorrow. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
Just be careful as you head out, and we'll have more on Tropical Storm Jerry a bit later in the news. However, we shift gears now to bring sad news from among the local media fraternity and indeed the Barbadian community. Veteran TV anchor and media stalwart Doug Hoyte has passed away after a brief illness. He was 75 years old. Our Andrew Lowe spoke to some who worked closely with him and files this report.
Good evening, I'm Doug Hoyte. The news tonight is focused approximately 90 miles east and south of Barbados.
For years, one of the most recognizable faces and voices in Barbadian television news, silenced overnight following a short illness. Doug Hoyte's career in media began in the mid-60s at Rediffusion and later sparked internationally. He spent many years in the United States working as a television reporter in Tampa, Florida. He returned to Barbados in the late 80s, bringing with him decades of professionalism and experience. He immediately made his mark in local television, pioneering the format of joint anchoring of the CBC Evening News, alongside news director Sharon Marshall during the late 80s and early 90s. It is there that he had a profound impact on several reporters at the time, including Peter Thorne.
In the constellation of journalistic stars in Barbados, Doug Hoyte would have to be considered as one of the brightest stars that shone, one of the brightest of them all. He had a dedication to craft. He was excellent as a broadcaster. He had flair, he had panache. He did things differently. He endeared viewers to CBC in the way he delivered the news as a news anchor and a broadcaster. And I believe CBC has been the better for it.
Rosemary Allen is another reporter who came under Dow's tutelage.
Doug transformed the CBC newsroom. He taught us how to write to the pictures that we had. He let us know that we were the nation's storytellers. So in the way we wrote and the way we spoke, we were telling our people our stories. And Doug was very generous with his knowledge about broadcast journalism, and he imparted it to all of us who passed through his hands.
Local and regional broadcaster Julian Rogers remembers the passion and excitement Doug Hoyte brought to the small screen.
So we look back at Doug's career professionally. We can all remember the things he's done, whether he was hosting the evening news on CBC or doing Morning Barbados. That lively, exciting, passionate spirit was always there. And he would always find an opportunity for something to be funny. He could convert any situation into something funny.
Beyond news, he was the lead host of the long-running breakfast program Morning Barbados. Former CBC General Manager and current Chairman of the Barbados Broadcasting Authority, Dr. the Honorable Alison Leacock, also salutes the life and legacy of Doug Hoyte. She describes him as one of CBC's most charismatic news anchors.
Doug modeled the best of broadcasting: immaculate preparation, clear, confident delivery, and that effortless blend of professionalism and flair. His dapper style was never mere fashion. It signaled respect for the audience and for the craft. Night after night, he lifted the evening news with energy and warmth, transforming headlines into a conversation with the nation.
Doug also served as General Manager of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation from April 2016 until 2018. In addition, he held senior communications roles as Director of Communications at Amman Resorts and operated his own public relations firm, Mountbatten Communications. Doug Hoyte contested the 2003 general elections as a DLP candidate in St. George South. He leaves to mourn his wife Wendy and 2 sons.
Would you believe it? We're out of time. Strike up the band. We are going home. On behalf of the hardworking and dedicated professionals here in news, sports, and the technical team, I'm Doug Hoyte. Here's hoping for a brighter tomorrow. Good night.
The CBC's acting Chief Executive Officer Kim Seeley has also paid tribute to outstanding former employee Doug Hoyte.
Doug was way more than a broadcaster. His was a voice that defined an era of Barbadian television. From his commanding presence as anchor of the CBC Evening News, punctuated by his unforgettable sign-off, "Strike up the band, we're going home," to his dynamic return as co-host of Morning Barbados, Doug's wit, professionalism, and commanding voice made him a household name. He was the subject of many fond rumors, including the famous tale that he delivered the news in business attire, above the desk and shorts below it. A story that perfectly captured his humor and the easy charm that endeared him to viewers across generations.
Now, on behalf of CBC's board, management and staff, Ms. Seeley extended deepest condolences to Doug's family and loved ones. Government is gearing up to roll out a dedicated school bus service. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Transport and Works, Antia Bradshaw, disclosed yesterday that Prime Minister Mia Amor-Mottley has given the green light for talks to begin on making that a reality. She said the move would help get students to school on time and clear the congestion in bus terminals. Minister Bradshaw spoke about the planned service at a signing ceremony for 30 electric buses from China, which arrived in the island and went into service earlier this year.
Prime Minister Mottley has given some directions to us in the ministry to start discussions regarding the dedicated bus service. And those discussions are actually ongoing because we want to certainly procure additional buses if we have to, or seek the assistance from our friends in China to be able to support the vision of being able to provide dedicated service across the country for our school children. So hopefully in the next few months we will be able to update the country as it relates to that particular proposal.
Coming up, a different course being plotted for the local maritime industry. Barbados is charting a new course for its maritime industry. The Barbados Maritime Transport Administration, in partnership with 3 leading training institutions, has officially launched the National Maritime Training and Employment Program. We get more in this report.
The Barbados Maritime Transport Administration, in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism and International Transport, is pushing ahead with efforts to strengthen the local maritime workforce. The official launch of the National Maritime Training and Employment Program brought together partners from the Barbados Community College, the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology, and the Barbados Institute of Management and Productivity. Deputy Principal of the Institute, Brenda Osborne, says they are happy to be part of the program.
We at the SJPI welcome the National Maritime Training and Education Program and envisage how this program, once all the international conventions are put in place, will assist us in widening our curriculum offerings in our maritime operations program at the institution. With this agreement, we can now include training that captures the entry-level maritime skill sets and better prepares persons for the various roles within the maritime sector, ensuring that the industry has a qualified workforce.
Chairman of the Barbados Community College, Dr. the Honorable Alison Leacock, described the partnership as one that lends to the blue economy.
Under the National Maritime Training and Education Program, BCC and the Barbados Maritime Transport Administration will co-design and deliver maritime education, including a maritime nursing pathway for port health and shipboard care, with the government financing to ensure access and scale.
Head of Academic Development Services at the Barbados Institute of Management and Productivity, Mrs. Andrea Walk, also welcomed the initiative, emphasizing the alignment between training and workforce demand.
BIMAP has a long history of providing bespoke training to fulfill specific needs of the Barbadian workforce. We believe in taking the innovative approach to training and conducting research to determine what training will be needed for developing careers. Our involvement in providing training for the maritime sector began over 5 years ago with discussions between the Institute and the Ministry of Tourism and International Transport. Following these discussions, in 2023, BIMAP, partnering with the Ministry and partially funded by the TVET Council, launched the Maritime Management Certificate Program.
The new training and employment program will prepare Barbadians for opportunities across shipping, logistics, and marine engineering. With Barbados positioning itself as a maritime hub, this national program could stay a new wave of opportunity for young Barbadians. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
The Barbados Postal Service continues to meet the demands of the public in an era of technological advancements. Acting Marketing Research Officer Faith Smith says the Postal Service is still holding its own and continues to introduce new services while maintaining some older ones, especially those the elderly population depend on. Speaking on CBC TV8's Morning Barbados today as the world observes World Post Day 2025, Ms. Smith said the elderly still look forward to visiting post offices across the island to pay their utility bills.
They can still come by us, and it's always a friendly atmosphere because they will come in and they'll be able to talk to their favorite clerk, and we still, cash their pensions. And we also have a service with the pharmacies where if they can't collect the Barbados Postal Service along with the Express Department, they will, go and deliver the drugs to their person.
Sports Night, brought to you with the compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL.
Anne-Marie Burke is here. That means it's time for sports. Hey, Anne-Marie.
Hi, Tisha. And I begin with news of cricket. Trailing 1-0 after humiliating defeat in Ahmedabad, the West Indies face a do-or-die second test against India at the Arun Jaitley Stadium starting from midnight. Captain Roston Chase and his side are fueled by pride and the wisdom of legends Viv Richards, Brian Lara and Richie Richardson, who have urged the team to believe in their talent. However, while this pep talk was meant to boost morale in the camp, the reality is tomorrow's second and final test against India will summon every ounce of skill, resilience and grit to get past the formidable India lineup. Skipper Chase insists the team has learned the hard way and his batters need to stand firm against India's relentless attack.
I just think the key is to stay in the present, to not think too far ahead or think too far back. As I said, you have to play each delivery on merit and just stay in the present. Just play the ball in merit, play what you see and not what you think. I think that led to my downfall in the last game. I was playing what I thought would happen rather than what I saw. So it's just to stay positive at the crease and always look to score. Even though it's test cricket, I don't think that you can just go there looking to survive. Obviously, when you start, you'll be a little more tentative and probably a bit of nerves to start. But once you get past that, I just think is to stay in the know and to just keep that hard focus for longer periods.
While many have tried to pinpoint why the West Indies continue to falter, Chase insists one thing is certain: the team is not lacking in confidence.
I don't think the guys are lacking confidence, but it's just to get that one score, to get that start, to then kick on from there. I just think once you obviously get that good innings or that 100 or that big 50, that then gives you the confidence to know that I can actually do it. But I think everyone is confident, but when you get out there, we didn't start well as a batting unit and the pressure is on, and it's for us to soak up that pressure as batters and still find a way to score and put back the pressure onto the Indian bowlers. So I just think that is the biggest challenge for us. I don't think that we're not confident. I just think that we just need to get that start and kick on, and we'll be fine.
And the first ball in the final test is set for midnight. Now, 3 West Indians who impressed on the recent tour of Nepal have been named in the West Indies white ball teams to face Bangladesh later this month. Former West Indies under-19 captain Akeem Orgis has earned his maiden call-up to the West Indies ODI team, while left-arm pacer Raymond Simmons and wicketkeeper Amir Jangu have also been included in the T20 squad. The ODI squad is Captain Shea Hope, Alec Anthony's, Akeem Orgis, Jadier Blaze, Casey Carty, Roston Chase, Justin Graves, Amir Jangu, Shamar Joseph, Brandon King, Gudakesh Moti, Kerry Pierre, Sherfin Rutherford, Jaden Seals and Romario Shepherd, while the T20 squad includes Hope, Anthony's, Orgis, Chase, Jason Holder, Akil Hossain, Jangu, Joseph King, Moti, Rovman Powell, Rutherford, Seals, Shepherd and Raymond Simmons. The West Indies will play 3 ODIs and a similar number of T20s.
The Business Report, brought to you with the compliments of Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
A call has been made to include the $20 challenge in the school curriculum. This appeal came from Managing Director of Miller Publishing, Keith Miller, during his address at the opening ceremony of this year's Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation Incorporated's $20 Challenge 2025 to 2026 in the Sky Mall conference room today. Participants at this year's challenge have been drawn from 17 schools across Barbados. Our Trevor Thorpe was there.
The experienced publisher and co-founder of the $20 Challenge told the audience that not everyone is suited for or interested in becoming an entrepreneur. However, with education reform currently capturing the focus of its stakeholders, it is an ideal time to address this issue.
But every single person in the world can become more enterprising. So even as an employee, you can be enterprising. You can be a leader. You can use your own initiative. You can make decisions. You can do things when you know it needs to be done instead of waiting for somebody to tell you to do it. That is more enterprising. If we get the $20 challenge onto the national curriculum, every single student leaving school in Barbados would have that sense of enterprise. Please put the $20 challenge onto the national curriculum.
The publisher said whatever the new format may be, now is the time to make the addition.
It's a ready-to-go, tried, tested and proven working model of enterprise-based education that could fit neatly into whatever system is set up in the future. When you look at the $20 challenge over the years and all the students who've passed through the system, the benefits that they've gained have been enormous. So could you just imagine the benefits to the country as a whole if every single student at secondary school went through the $20 challenge program?
Scotiabank's Haggett Hall branch manager Ryan Carrington said their involvement represents an investment in the future as the challenge will help participants develop lifelong skills.
It means helping young people, families and communities grow stronger together. We know that in today's world, change is constant. That's a given. That's why resilience, innovation, and inclusivity are so critical, and why investing in programs like the $20 Challenge is one of the most impactful ways that we can give back. Through this initiative, students don't just create businesses. They learn about teamwork, discipline, problem solving, and self-awareness.
A diverse array of events made up of business presentations, field trips and tours make up the 2025-2026 calendar. Trevor Thorpe for the Business Report.
Sports Night, brought to you with the compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL.
Time now for the second half of Sports with Anne-Marie Burke. She's back.
Yes, Tisha. Now, local football fans will have to wait a little longer for the new $2 million grandstand facility at the BFA Technical Center. This after President Randy Harris reviewed that the construction process is currently on pause. CBC's Anmar Goodrich-Boyce has more.
I'm standing in front of the foundation for the new grandstand here at the Barbados Football Association's Technical Center. However, that project has now hit a standstill, with local officials trying to find a solution in order for the facility upgrade to be completed as soon as possible. BFA President Randy Harris explained that the materials currently on site at the BFA Technical Center do not fit the architectural drawings for the foundation. And as a result, this is the reason for the delay in the construction of the grandstand, expected to seat 3,000 patrons once completed. Harris said earlier this week the BFA met with FIFA, the suppliers, contractors and the local project manager in an effort to resolve the problem and establish a solution, with a decision expected within a week's time. However, the BFA boss said he's not pleased with the situation.
I am very, very disappointed with what has transpired, because we expected by the end of 2024 that we would have the new facility here, and that FIFA president would have been able to come open the facility officially. That is a big drawback and a real big disappointment for us, who are getting the kind of assistance that we are getting from FIFA, to make sure that we have at least a facility that can be respected not only in Barbados but globally.
Apart from the grandstand, 2 more changing rooms will be added: a gym, referees' quarters and media boxes. The project, once started, will take no more than 18 months to be completed. Anmar Goodrich-Boyce, CBC Sports.
24 teams are entered in this island's top semi-professional football tournament. CBC Sports takes a look at the squads vying for the Prime Minister's Cup. Brought to you by Powerade, Pause is Power, and Dasani. Live first, Dasani after.
The roadmap to the final of the 2025 Prime Minister's Cup football competition comes with its fair share of challenges, especially for some of the new teams. Bagatelle Football Club, who have been promoted to the Premier League this year, will be aiming to learn as quickly as possible. Head coach Nicholas Cullimore says they have a good mix of players.
The team is predominantly, this was the first division players for a couple of years now. You have some guys from Redmond Village, guys from various parts of the island, right? So it's not only a home-based team, it's a makeup of guys from all over the island. We also have some overseas players, but they're not here right now. That's what made up our first division team. So for the Prime Minister's Cup, we encompassed some guys from other teams like Black Spurs, Fire Service, right? Hillby. So we encompass guys from other teams. Haynesville, we got guys from other teams. So it's not only a home-based side, it's guys from all over.
3 training sessions a week means the focus has been placed squarely on fitness.
We've been doing a lot of possession, we've been doing a lot of tactical work. Right, as we say, we are a newly promoted side to the first division. So this Prime Minister's Cup, we want to see how deep we can go in the tournament. But we are using this Prime Minister's Cup to also prepare for the upcoming Premier League, which I know will be tough. And we got to focus on staying in it. So as I said, the Prime Minister's Cup, we want to see how far we can go in the tournament. And preparations are coming pretty well. Some of the key players, we have Tyrese. He's from Black Spurs. He's a very good attacker off the wing. Right? We have Romel from the Fire Service. He's a very good in the midfield department. We also have Javonte Blackett, he's got 2 goals for us so far. He's blessed with a lot of speed, and his finishing is pretty good.
Assistant coach Corey Greenidge says they have to take their chances.
Obviously, they got a lot of good teams involved. We're a newly promoted Premier League team, so they can't take away the chances from the other Premier League clubs that got a lot more seasoned players and more experienced players. We team got a lot of men that young. My oldest player, I think, is 33, 34. I got 2 men that actually played Premier League before, but most of the guys I didn't know come through youth football or actually just played first division and what's not. But I got a young, energetic squad, so I think that they could go all the way.
Captain and central defender Stefan Kamabach, along with forward Nicholas Gibbs, said the team philosophy is simple.
Mentally, I think we focus right now. As a team and as a unit, we're working for one another. In the team, there's good camaraderie. As you can see at training, we work together as one. Our team is strong as its weakest link. So I think right now, as a captain, I feel confident with our mentality and our fitness levels as well.
We had a well-rounded preparation. We've been working on fitness, we've been working on finishing, and as you can see from the training session tonight, we've been working on passing and moving, keeping possession in the football, key elements that will help us to progress in the tournament.
Bagatelle are in Group E, along with Lodge Road, Technique, and UWI Blackbirds.
And that's news. Thank you so much for viewing. Do have a good night.